There's really not a single shot coming out of this trip that JD and Usha Vance took to Greenland where any of these soldiers look happy to see him. I'm sure that all these people were hand-chosen, hand-selected to stand right here, and they all look... Okay, so if you didn't know, here's a situation. What I think is happening in my understanding of what's going on. So Usha Vance, JD Vance's wife, she is actually in this picture. That's her right there. She was originally supposed to go to Greenland and do like some touristy things, a national dog sled race, things like that. She was originally supposed to go with security advisor Mike Walls. You guys remember Mike Walls. He's one of the many men who's not being held accountable for that national security breach in that Signal group chat. He's also the guy who added the reporter to the chat. He's a great national security advisor. The best. According to Jesper Steinmetz, I apologize if I pronounced that wrong, but a Danish reporter, apparently US representatives had gone around knocking on one door after another in Greenland on behalf of Usha Vance, asking people if they would welcome a visit. He says everywhere the answer was the same, no thank you, and that's the reason why the plans were changed. Like, originally Vance wasn't supposed to go, but he suddenly decides to tag along again instead of being held accountable for these treasonous war crimes. God, we're such a shithole. Apparently he said I didn't want her to have all the fun by herself, so I'm gonna join her. The only place that Usha and JD went was the US military base because it seems like every other place canceled, said no to them. Fuck yeah, Greenland. So he gives this weird speech, right? Trump's been talking for years, since his first term, about taking Greenland in some way, about sending troops to Greenland or buying Greenland. So Trump's been very aggressive about it, but Vance was sort of like, we don't need to use military force, we've already got troops there, which to me still kind of reads as a threat. But he says he wants to work with Greenland. Greenland, from my understanding, is in the process of establishing independence from Denmark, which it sounds like is something that Denmark is mostly in support of. Vance is trying to say that China is this big threat to Greenland, Denmark isn't doing enough to protect it, so Americans need to go in and protect it, but that's bullshit. They mean protect Greenland the same way they say protect women, as an object, not an autonomous thing. Both Trump and Vance have said it is about the territory. These are people that have known for decades that climate pollution caused climate change is real, and so they want the Arctic. They've described it as a fight for the Arctic. So while lying to their constituents saying that this thing isn't a problem, they're making war plans to try and take areas that they know are going to be better to have as the climate rapidly heats up. But Greenland overwhelmingly iced JD and Usha out. They canceled all of the touristy things that Usha was supposed to go do, and Greenlanders overwhelmingly refused to meet with her when it was just supposed to be Usha Vance going on the trip. People in Greenland seem to be much smarter than the people in the United States. They can smell the bullshit, it seems. As they have been since his first term, Greenlanders are en masse protesting this. Really, it's a threat of war from the Trump administration. Vance can try and spin it however he wants, but this is some manifest destiny shit. And Trump's been saying it for a decade, that he wants it. You had before the election, you had Trump Jr. going to Greenland saying, we're gonna treat you guys so well. And it seems overwhelmingly like Greenlanders are having absolutely fucking none of it. And I do have to wonder how much of this is for us to try and manufacture consent for when he eventually does wage war against Greenland and tries to send all of our sons to this fucking war that nobody wants. That nobody wants. Imagine if climate polluters just paid and we started implementing climate solutions, right? These guys know that scientists are right, but it is less profitable for them to admit that. So they do weird shit like this. Anyway, these pictures are pretty funny.